Alrighty, so this is going to be an interesting little speedrun here. So obviously, if you're watching this video, it means I managed to do 80 to 90 in under 3 hours, because that is my goal. And if I fail, we're going to try this again until I get it. So that puts me in an interesting position where obviously I don't know the future of this run, but I know the future of any version of this run that ends up on YouTube, so that's kind of fun. But we got to talk for at least a few minutes. Obviously, as usual, if you want to just skip ahead and be boring and lame and blah, 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 there are timestamps for when the run first starts, but obviously I think there is some important context, right? So I will just say right out of the gate, I am doing this run on the beta, but there is absolutely zero difference from live. I have less than a lot of people have on live because I am not using Darkmoon Fair buff, deliberately so. I waited until after Darkmoon Fair ended because I figure, hey, all of you guys need to level level characters without Darkmoon Fair buff, right? You don't have the advantage of that. So I want to showcase that I have a really cool route prepared that doesn't require Darkmoon Fair buff and can still be used to level really quickly. So I have 15% war mode, right? Even though it's the beta, this was changed. So this does work correctly on beta. And I have the 25% account-wide bonus. That's just normal. That works on live servers too. So all this stuff is the same. The reason why I'm doing this in the beta is because I have made 5 copies of my druid on the beta. And I'm going to do a bunch of different tests, right? And obviously if this one fails to hit sub 3 hours, which is my goal, then I do it again. And I use one of those other 5 copies. But ideally, I do this first try. I've done enough testing preparation to think that I have this in the bag. And then I can do some other tests on the future copies of the druid. And the beautiful thing about that is we're working from a similar baseline, right? So all of these druids are completely identical, so I can't basically say, like, oh, hey, well, this was a hunter run, and hunter is, like, weaker, blah, blah, blah. I'm just using a random example. They will be the exact same character with the exact same resources, so that way I can very accurately compare any testing times that I get on these characters. That is the reason I have chosen to do it this way. And the reason I chose this druid is because this druid is the character I was planning to use for launch day leveling, and didn't get to because there was some weird hiccup with, like, my account not getting flagged, so I had to level my second account on launch day, and I had this character left over, so I figured, throw a bunch of copies onto the beta, and then I'll get to use it. I have since leveled this character to 90 on live servers, but that's the beauty of making copies of it. I can basically simulate the state of my character pre-launch, and we can do some runs from that baseline. So, obviously, with that being said, right, like, this is a fairly geared character. This is the character that I was planning, like I said, to use for launch day. I did all this crazy optimization and stuff. So this, generally speaking, should be common knowledge to anybody who watches any sort of speedrun. But the exact time that I get in this run is not the exact time that you should expect to get on your random undergeared character. Like, every single time I post one of these runs, and I'm like, hey, you can follow this too, people are like, oh, I'm 2 hours in, and I'm still only halfway through. Like, well, yeah, that's kind of how it works, right? I do all this crazy prep. I do the same stuff that you should be doing. Like, the route is where the time save comes from, but obviously this character is very geared. But if you do literally anything else, it will be slower, mostly. So there are a few different leveling strategies that I've seen floating about that seem pretty good. The one that I will just acknowledge right out of the gate is Calamitous spam. So I will, Void Storm this delve. Now, I am doing my run on the day where Calamitous is active. This is just a good delve, even without the spam strategy for it, but I'm not going to spam it. I'm going to do it once. I'm going to get my Delver's Call quest complete, and then I'm going to move on to other stuff. Because no matter how you slice it, doing a Delve World Tour and getting all the quests done, obviously that is worth it. Now, I should also note, by the way, because it is beta, technically speaking, these delves are active. I will not be doing them. This is going to be basically fully simulated as if it were on live servers, right? But did want to acknowledge that technically it is there. I will not be touching Darkway. I will not be touching Parhelion Plaza. Anything that is not currently accessible on live will not be included in this run. Also, if you have somehow been living under a rock and you haven't seen my recent videos, I made a leveling add-on. It is really good. I'm really happy with how it's turned out. Right now, it is only for the Midnight Campaign, and when I say right now, I mean, like, at the time of recording and stuff. I've started including Sojourner questlines in here, but that is still a work in progress. The main reason why I haven't finished that yet is because I've been developing this route. Now, if you are watching this video the day that it comes out, the alt route will not be complete. So you can still watch this video, you can follow along on your own characters and like basically use, I'll give you some spoiler warnings, right? Eversong Woods campaign and Zul'Aman campaign will be featured in the questing route that I will showcase in this video. Well, here's the beautiful thing about my add-on, you can just pick Eversong Woods and follow along like that. You can pick Zul'Aman and follow along like that, and it works perfectly fine. And there's also some Eversong Sojourner questlines that have already been integrated in here, and you can follow along from that. But within a few days after this video is posted, I'm going to be integrating this entire route into its own standalone section in this drop-down menu for the alt leveling 80 to 90 route. And then you will be able to follow exactly what I am doing in this run, step by step, with detailed arrow instructions pointing you to exactly where you need to go, with notes on exactly what you should be doing, etc., right? My add-on is very detailed. It is, in my opinion, really, really, really good. I've gotten a lot of really good feedback on it, so if you're not already using it, you should be. It's called Follow the Arrow, and to be clear, completely 100% free, no loopholes. This isn't one of those, like, you know, scummy, oh, technically it's free, but we found a loophole where we can sell you a $50 guide on our website. Like, no, none of that bullshit. It is completely unconditionally free, always will be free, and I am making an, like, alt leveling route right now that will be added to the add-on that anybody can use. So, yeah, by the way, also, in addition to being free, it's better. So that's the best part. You get the best of both worlds. You get better leveling guides by somebody who actually plays the game, and you don't need to pay $50 for it. Crazy, right? So that is something that I want to make abundantly clear right out of the gate. If you are not aware of my add-on, go download it. It will save you a lot of time. I'm also going to be adding some fancy stuff for delves, including endgame delves, next week when the season starts. So this is going to be an ongoing project that will just keep getting better and better and better as time goes on. And you'll get to see this add-on in action throughout the run. Now, obviously, I do not have the full alter route integrated right now, but as I go through the Eversong questline, I will have that section of the add-on available so I can use the arrow to remind myself. Now, I will be making in-the-moment adjustments based on the personal route that I have in my head, right, which will eventually be integrated into the guide. But, you know, that, want to make that clear out of the gate, just so you understand why, like, if my arrow is pointing me somewhere, I'm basically ignoring my own arrow, and I am doing my own thing, but eventually, when I am done, the arrow will be pointing to the correct spot. Also, before we get started, I just want to make it very clear, right, like this, like all my buffs and stuff are rolling. We're not on the character select screen, we're in the game. And this might seem weird, but the reality of runs like this, of runs where you're not on a fresh character, right, it's an 80 to 90 run, it's inherently a midway through the campaign thing, there is no proper starting point, right? So where do you start the run? Well, a lot of people, they start by doing mobs in Khazalgar and Isle of Dorn. I'm not going to be doing that. I don't actually necessarily think this is worthwhile. I think that a lot of people get heavily baited by stuff like this. It's like for campaign leveling, if you have to choose to do this versus, you know, doing quests and stuff in like the early zones when you don't have any of like the alt scaling, yeah, maybe on launch day, this could be worth it for the very first level. But with how many good sources of experience there are in Midnight, why would you do this? Frankly, at that point, just go spam Calamitous. It's just better. And I already said Calamitous like this thing. A lot of people are just spamming this. When I get to that delve, I will demonstrate the spam strategy that people have been using. At least like showing you, this is what people are doing. Now I am going to go complete the delve and move on. But this is how people are farming Shadowguard Point Calamitous. This is, in my opinion, out of all of the different methods I've seen, the fastest like farm strategy. Not really a secret, right? There's been like 50 bajillion videos on it. But I actually don't necessarily know if it's going to be that much faster than my route. If anything, you might want to do this for like the first 3 levels, first 4 levels, and then do like the really efficient parts of my route. Whether or not you choose to do that, that's up to you, but I think you'll see that even without Darkmoon Fair buff, my route is pretty fast. So also, I think that is just about everything. So in order to start this, right, I'm obviously going to start my timer. I'm going to walk up to Liadrin. This is where I am personally choosing to start my run. I'm going to start the timer. Then I'm going to talk to Liadrin, and we're going to go from there. I want to make sure I have my settings correct. Yeah, I have the automation disabled. Let's increase the arrow size a little bit. And let's change that. I'm not going to... Oh, actually, I will enable Voldemort mode. Yeah. Always enable Voldemort mode. Voldemort mode is BIS. You won't get to see Voldemort mode because Voldemort mode does something in your chat window, which is where I have my timer covering. But trust me, Voldemort mode is BIS. If you're ever using my add-on, definitely select that. And then I'm going to keep all of these settings as is, but hey, they're here. If you do want to customize the add-on a little bit, you can do that. Okay, take two. So you may notice that my character's name is now Elv2, meaning this is the second character, and there was a jump cut, and now I don't have my buffs anymore, because obviously it's a second character. So I sort of kind of forgot that I still had Quick Quest installed on the beta, so I talked to Liadrin after starting the timer, and it immediately accepted the dialogue to teleport to the Sunwell. And yeah, that's a run ender right at the start. I kind of forgot. So I have disabled Quick Quest. I'm sorry, Pelham. It's a good add-on. It's just, unfortunately, I think Pelham probably should update the auto-select to not pick the Liadrin teleport to the Sunwell thing. I think that one should just not do anything. Or do the skip. I don't know. It probably just shouldn't pick anything for you. That's a little bit unfortunate. But technically, I can still reuse that character for future tests, but at this point, its speedrunning potential has been kind of completely invalidated, especially because I already did the intro quest. Whatever. That's why I have 5 of these copies. So, yeah, we try this again. Now, obviously, this means I need to redo all of my buffs, but that is no problem, right? But I wanted to at least showcase this, right? So, I didn't want to just jump cut straight to standing directly in front of Liadrin, because then somebody would be like, something hinky went on there. I saw a jump cut. Clearly, he's up to no good. When it's just like, no, I left Quick Quest running and did something really stupid, and now I have to use my second character after 5 minutes. This also means that I need to go and edit the video, and I'm not... Like, there's 0 chance in hell that I'm going to re-record, like, the 5 to 7 minutes or however long it took to record, like, the early ramble about, you know, my add-on and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have to take that part and throw that at the start, and then this is the run. This is the actual run. God damn it. I knew something was gonna go wrong. I didn't think it was gonna happen, like, right at the start. You know, I figured, you know, I'll take at least, like, a few minutes to make a stupid mistake, but no, like, leaving Quick Quest enabled, that was definitely a decision that I can make, and I think I've gotten all of my prep and stuff sorted, right? I have all my crafting items, I have all this stuff, right? So, we should be good to go. And, yeah, like, I have all this stuff that checks out, right? So this time, key difference, right? I'm not going to teleport to the Sunwell intro, because we don't want to do the Sunwell intro. The Sunwell intro is not good, and it should be skipped. So, with that said, we're going to start our timer. We're going to talk to Liadrin. I am going to do midnight, but then I'm going to skip this, right? It's a free 2k XP. You may as well. And then this is going to take me to Lorthamar. Bit of a loading screen, right? You know, the fun speedrun. We start off staring at a loading screen. Such is life. There might be some slightly longer than normal loading screens on the beta. That's just kind of how it goes. We're going to pick Eversong. And we're going to go out here. Grab these quests. Is my Leatrix Plus not working? It is. I don't know why that one didn't want to behave. Alright, that's fine. I think maybe because there's a dialogue option attached to it, it was just not playing nice. And we are going to immediately jump into Delves. Be nice if I don't get hit with, like, non-stop, extremely long loading screens, though. That would be cool. This one feels a little excessive. The bar hasn't even started yet. If I get, like, obscene loading screens, like, so be it. But honestly, if I do have to sit here for, like, an eternity, then we just go on to Elf 3. And this definitely feels like an eternity. This has been a 20-second long loading screen, and the bar has not moved. So that might just be what we have to do here. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh. Okay. Alright, that one felt a little bit excessive. Like, I'll keep going. Like I said, if it's not sub 3, then I redo this anyway, but... Christ. Like I said, the beta sometimes has long loading screens, which, if anything, just makes things worse for me. But... That one felt fucking targeted, man. Holy shit. Alright, we go to the Grudge Pit. We do this on Tier 2 for the first view. I'm going to pick up the quest. I'm going to do my Valera settings. Yeah, I don't have anything unlocked for Valera on the beta. I am a Guardian Druid, so I can basically pull the world. That's the fun thing about being a Guardian Druid. Alright, so this objective is just beat stuff up. And then I think, yeah, I have to then just do this. And this. And there's a Wailing Spirit up there. I don't know if I care. Can I destroy this without it interrupting me? Okay, that's crazy. I don't know why I get stunned there. Yeah, by the way, so I generally think that at very low levels... actually, oh, I was gonna... Jeez. I was gonna put Feral Frenzy up, but it looks like I don't need to. Can I... Yeah, that doesn't remove disease, right, okay. So I'm just gonna have to deal with this really nasty poison, which will hopefully not stun me while I'm in the middle of interacting with one of these things, but it probably will. Collect mold samples. Alright. Let's do that. Okay, you get more mob kill XP on T2, and when you're at this power level, like especially with me, with all my gear and whatnot, realistically speaking, it's gonna take me like about the same amount of time to kill mobs with or without my or without like Tier 2. So I think it's just worth doing it that way. But I don't know, it's hard to say. Definitely for like the delve spam methods, it is worth doing them on Tier 1, because all you're trying to do is just quickly cycle through them. Where is the other mold samples? Do I have to... Oh yeah, I have to loot it off these guys. Alright, I'll be honest, so far, I have kind of messed this delve variant up. But this is not a super fast delve. It's still worth doing, but what are you gonna do, right? There's like lots of roleplay here. The potion here, I guess. Alright, I'm not going to do any of that stuff. I'm just going to hearth out. The main thing for a lot of these delves, especially the ones that are more objective focused, where like killing mobs is kind of a secondary thing. Oh my god, that's actually so toxic. Holy shit. That's so fucked. Oh, I've never seen that happen. I also don't even know what gives that poison. I have no idea why that happened. Okay, the game is really trying to sabotage me. Look, if I miss sub 3, I try this again another day, and I get really annoyed, but... Like, the main thing is I very much feel that, like, sub 3 with this route is doable. It's really just a question of how good of a sub 3 can we get. So, that's the main reason why really annoying, you know, loading screen time losses. And the other thing is that's only right here at the very start of the run, right? So, we'll make do. Right. I cannot believe I just walked into that. I am having a day. And the thing is, I can't even blame anybody but myself for doing that. That's just like, look. Consider this like, you know, a motivational experience. If the speedrunner can do a bunch of really dumb shit and still get a fast time, you can do it too. Fucking hell. Let's pull basically everything. Especially because we have our banner down, so we want to get some extra mob kill XP. Like to kill as much as I can in this room as possible. This is, in my opinion, the best Gulf of Memory delve. I would say, overall, there's like some delves on this cycle that are like okay. Like that Grudge Pit one, I don't think is that good. I think Dastardly Rotstock is slightly better. I do think that one is probably still better than... There's like a light one, which takes about the same amount of time, but is like... Actually, nah, it's about the same mob kills, but it takes slightly longer. But Dastardly Rotstock, I think, is the best, but it's not that bad. There are some delve variants that are, like, just really, really, really abysmal, and that kind of makes their entire, like, variant cycle really frustrating to, like, level during. And there aren't really any of those on the B variant cycle, which is what I like to call this one. If you don't understand why I'm saying B, A variant, C variant, whatever... that's like a kind of a term that I coined myself back in War Within. People who have watched my delve videos understand what I'm talking about. If you don't, you know, it's not a big deal. You'll understand when you watch my delve Season 1 video next week, which you, of course, will do, right, dear viewer, because you are smart and you understand that I will have some really good optimization tips for Season 1 delves, and then I will explain to you what I mean when I say A, B, C variant. It's kind of a, like, don't worry about it too much. It's a hard thing to really understand. Yeah, we don't need to loot. We do our Cantina Key here. So our Cantina Key is back to being a Silvermoon Hearthstone, which is quite nice. It was nerfed, and then it was rechanged back into this. So it used to be a 1.5 minute cooldown Silvermoon Hearthstone, and then it was completely gutted. And then everybody was pissed off, justifiably so, and then Blizzard was like, okay, what if we make it a 15-minute Silvermoon Hearth? And now it's basically Dollar on Hearth 2.0, which is a good change. I'm happy they did that. We're gonna... this out. I'm gonna click the Eversong Woods guide just so that when I eventually go there, it's already good to go. We don't have Regent's Request. Okay. Strange. Alright. Don't know why the quest is not there. That's fucking weird. Maybe there's like some prerequisite that I am just not aware of. Alright. There is a quest from Valera over there that starts a pretty good chain, and at some point I am gonna want to do it. I don't know why it's not there, though. Yeah, that's definitely gonna have to just put a banner down here. My best guess is that it's tied to some prerequisite in, like, the Eversong campaign per character, though that feels strange, because it definitely feels like I should be able to access it. But okay. If for whatever reason it's bugged on the beta, then I will adapt. There's not really a whole lot I can do about that. If that's what it is, then that's what it is. But I will check back later to see. I'm guessing that it's not bugged in the beta, because I've definitely done it on the beta before, I just don't know why it's not there. I think I can get this. Nice. Why is the Null Bastion bugging out? Oh, nice. I think this should work. Okay. And final boss. The boss is here. Die, final boss. Pretty good. Leave Delve. Okay. So we have Collegiate Calamity ready to go for when we need it. That is nice. It's technically not a big deal that Regent's Request is not up, just because there are multiple points later on where I'm going to have to go over there, and theoretically, like, there are a bunch of different spots I could route it in, so... the next spot is in 15 minutes, though, so I'm guessing it's probably not going to be up then, so I will... I don't know. I'll figure it out. Right, I shouldn't have done this first. 5-second time loss, not a big deal. That's up to you. I want that stuff. Commune with the console, pick this, pick this. Okay. So this is something that you've probably never seen in any other run. To my knowledge, I am the first person to use any sort of Voidstorm side quest in their route, but I think that these are good. So... I think people are sleeping heavily on Voidstorm quests because they weren't really worth it at all in the campaign. Why did I not get credit? Yeah, no. They are definitely worthwhile here. And now we're going to go do Sunkiller Sanctum. So the advantage of that is we've picked up 3 quests. So one of them is the console quest, which that's just free experience, right? There's no reason to not take that. We've picked up another quest called A Born Killer, which is just kill mobs in Voidstorm, and eventually you will get the essences that you need to complete that quest. So it's basically another free 15k XP, which is pretty good. And then we picked up that chain, which the first step of that chain is basically directly along the path that we need to take for, yeah. I should have used the lock window setting on my add-on. Forgot to enable that. It is there, though. Come on. Okay, and then... Where's the last one? Last one's down here, right? Yeah. That's going to interrupt me if I don't kill it. Okay. I gotta say, out of all of the delves in Midnight, this one is by far my favorite. I love the, like, gravity slingshot mechanic. It's so fucking cool. Do this. I'm gonna swap trinkets before I forget. And there's another one down here, right? Yeah. And, like, so here's the thing. If this was on tier 1, would I notice the mobs dying any slower? Not really. Like, with my gear level, the mobs are already going to just get completely melted. So tier 2 is just, like, extra experience on both the mob kills and the delve completion. So it just makes sense. There is one more I can do over there. And we're going to do this. Okay. I would like... Go. Shift into cat form, rip, out back into bear form. And that's completion. We can just leave delve, we don't need to loot anything. Right. And now we do our first actual side quest chain. I'm going to hide follow the arrow for a bit until we get to Eversong Woods. If you need to do that, you can just type /FTA. Fun little fact some people have not realized. Okay. Come on. Give me the third quest. There we go. So, this quest line is really nice, not only because it's just directly along the path, but there's effectively 3 quests here. Because there is a bonus objective in this area that is just completed by doing the stuff that we need for this quest. So it's basically a third quest. Okay, I need to do that. Okay, we need to... I do need to be looting these mobs, actually, come to think of it. Because, yeah, I need to get the Void Essence. So that is the thing for the Decimus quest. We're gonna... Whole bunch of mobs here. Nice, that's level 81. And one more quest objective over yonder. And we'll do this. That is an important talent point to spend. Then the next quest I already know is going to be to return to this camp, so I'm just flying here, and the NPC will... There we go. And then she does like a tiny bit of roleplay. I talk to her. And then... Is it? Yeah, okay, then I can just go directly here. Then there's a tiny bit of roleplay. Fresh buffs, or whatever. Take this portal. Oh, no, shit. This is where having the arrow will really help when I eventually build it, which all this stuff will be included with the final version, right? And it's like, yeah, tiny bit of roleplay. Then it is, yeah, it's turned in down here. Cool. And this gives above average experience, so in my opinion, it's worth. Good quest. And we're going to fly over this way. And where is... Yeah, there we go. I'm going to do this quest chain, too. So there are multiple chains in Voidstorm that are included in my guide. How cool is that? bet most people did not expect Voidstorm to be featured in any leveling guides, but it turns out, not bad. It's really not bad. These quests, actually, though I will say, so across the board, Voidstorm actually has a handful of quest chains that are pretty decent. The thing about, like, Voidstorm is, like, because you can't overlap anything with the Voidstorm campaign, because that is kind of bad, I think a lot of people overlook how good some of these side quest chains are. But you don't necessarily need to have an overlapping side quest chain with the campaign for it to be worthwhile. It just needs to be fast to do the actual quests in that area. So, if it's fast, you just do it. And in this case, this is a pretty good quest line directly underneath Shadowguard Point. So there's, like, minimal travel time. It's just worth. I need to kill a few more mobs for specialized livers. Let's do one more pull here. I need one more Void Essence, but I should be able to get that on the next quest. I am missing Specialized Liver, though. That I do need for this one. Should be enough. Okay. No. Feels like my drop chance was low there. Like, I've never, in the times I tested this, still been trying to get it. But, what are you gonna do? That's just how it goes. Copper key shards obviously irrelevant for leveling. You can't get them right now on live, but that does not matter at all. Yeah, this is, like, tiny bit of roleplay. I think, technically speaking, I can go and start this quest in the meantime, but you want to wait, because this guy gives you another quest. Now, technically speaking, I'll be honest, this quest line, if you want to spam Calamitous instead of doing this, I think that would maybe be acceptable. Like, I can understand why that might be, like, preferable. But I have already said I'm not going to spam Calamitous. What I want to show you is that even when Calamitous is not active, even if you don't have Darkman Fair buff, there is a questing path that is very good. And when we're not talking about stuff like Calamitous spam, then I think this type of quest line is pretty good, because, like, what are you going to do this? What are you going to do over this? Like, a quest line in Zulaman? Like, there are some good side quests in Zulaman, but the mediocre side quests in Zulaman are arguably worse than this and have more travel time required to benefit from them, whereas this is already really good. What the heck was that? And then a kill one mob quest, love to see it. I'm going to switch my trinkets. Right. Yeah, and then gives above average experience. Pretty good, I think. So you can see there, like, the final quest was really good. So it all averages out. Was it, like, the fastest chain ever? And no, and the first quest felt like a little bit slow. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Alright, so I'm going to show you how people are doing this farm. It's still worth me doing it, like, for my initial run, just because it's really good. The big key here is the robots. The robots give really good XP. This is really nice if you're playing a caster or something like a Guardian Druid, which can just moonfire everything and just walk around. I mean, Guardian Druid, obviously just very good in general, right? So you round all this stuff up, drag it over here. and then you just murder, 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 murder. Alright. And then, oh yeah, I need to apparently loot this guy. Oh no, I don't. I need to. Now we do this. Okay. Then I take the waygate. And now I'm transported up here. So Calamitous is still by far the best Shadow Guard point delve, just in a vacuum. It is pretty good. But I need to find arcane charges, and funny, I've spent so much time doing this the speedrun way for XP, I've forgotten where you find the actual arcane charges. Okay, yeah, they're looted off mobs. I was gonna say, I don't see any on the ground. The problem with this is there is a variant that requires you to... I should have dropped a banner also at the start there. Forgot. Oops. But there is a variant that asks you to pick up these, like, boxes on the ground and then chuck them at some crates, so I couldn't remember which one it was. You might imagine, kind of blurs together when you've been doing the same delve with, like, slightly different variants a bunch of times. The reason I'm doing this one first is I would like to get value out of my banner, but I think yeah. It's a... okay, it's only a 5%. So in that case, it wouldn't have mattered too much if I only get the 5% banner. So, okay, it doesn't look like I picked up any charges. So I'm gonna kill mobs until one drops. There we go. Do this. I'm gonna kill these mobs, because they are good mob kill XP. Now, if you're trying to farm this for really good XP value, you're not going to do this, like, entire run. You're basically going to do that one loop that I showed you right at the beginning with all the robots, and then the moment all those robots and mobs are dead, you leave Delve. That's it. Alright, and he's dead. And now we are Cantina Key. Now the problem here is I really would have liked to have Regent's Request by now, but I guess it's not active. Which, if it's not, then so be it. And if it's not, then I have a backup plan for how I want to route this. Yeah, it's fine. We're good. We're chill. I had a whole plan, but it's fine. I can just adapt. I'm not seeing Regent's Request. Yeah, it must be locked behind, like, a later part of the Eversong questline, and I just forgot. We are going to head over here. I believe... yeah, I'm lagging, right? Basically, it has to load in Eversong Woods. But I'm just gonna sit here, chill, and wait. Right? Not much I can do. Effectively, we're on a loading screen right now. It's a seamless loading screen. Normally, it's faster, but because we're on the beta tends to have long loading screens the first time you enter a zone. Effectively, this is like an interactive loading screen. Sure is taking its time, though. Good time for me to get a sip of water. I guess it's a shame, right? Because, like, in theory, because you can move during this quote-unquote loading screen, I could have basically just skipped this quest and flown halfway to Fairbreeze. But honestly, I kind of want to show it because I do think it's interesting, because this is another thing where I'm not sure if anybody has actually included this quest in their route, and I think it's really cool, and I want to show you why it's worth doing. You can grab Delver's Call Shadow Enclave over there. I have since figured that out. Alright, so I'm going to pick up this quest. I am going to get this. 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 And then we're going to turn this stuff in. And I can now follow the arrow. Let's go! Follow the arrow. I hit the wrong thing. I accidentally shoot a Hawkstrider. That was not what I intended to do, but apparently there was one nearby. Walk in, grab the papers. I should drop a banner here, and I'm going to pull a bunch of mobs. Is there... Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff here. Displace Lynx, Erratic Lightworm. There's more Lynxes. There's another Lightworm. And you'll notice, right, obviously because I'm on the beta, I technically have less mob competition. And if you think that, oh, man, that's unfair, that's an, unrealistic advantage, well, keep in mind, I also have extremely long loading screens. So, in my opinion, it kind of averages out. But, you can be the judge for yourself. Not that it matters, right? It's not like this is a competition or anything. I'm just showing you a fast sub 3-hour time. And I've already said, if I was really trying to get the fastest time possible, I would just do this with Darkwind Fairbuff, but... I will eventually, of course, do runs with Darkwind Fairbuff, don't get me wrong. Oh, shit. Come on. Okay. Oh, this is gonna fucking interrupt me, isn't it? Oh, you motherfucker. Okay, we got credits. I have all my Lightworms. Oh. Those early sections of the run were the parts I was the most stressed out about, because, like, there's so much that can go wrong, and although I did eat, like, a few minutes time loss, just because... Well, unavoidable time loss, right? Just because of the game deciding no. Alright, now we get to do something cool, so I'm going to fly up here, we're going to fly over here, we're going to grab this quest from Instructor Anthiel. That's a surprise tool that'll help us later. We hook right, we head down here, and we do a big pull. We're doing this side quest hub. That's why we did that little breadcrumb over there in Fairbreeze Village. Alright. Gonna pull a bunch of mobs. I don't want to pull, like... I think this should be safe. The problem with these mobs is they don't give mob kill XP because they don't die. So I'm pulling a lot of mobs just because I know that as a bear I can very easily AoE them down, and I don't want to be, like, short. But, okay, come on. What I should have done probably is this first, and then surveil the ship, because you have to wait for... Yeah, there's, like, unskippable roleplay, Into the Depths It Goes. I should get credit, though, so I should be able to just go up here, and then the moment, yeah. Perfect. Alright. It's nice that they fixed the bug in the beta. One of the main reasons why I can never really test this, this particular questline on beta is there was a bug for a while that prevented you from swimming. If you tried to swim, it would, like, hijack control over your character and just fuck you over, and that was really annoying. We're gonna do this, then we're gonna buoy. Come on. Do another big pull. Debatable whether I should have bannered here or before, but either way, this is fine. Pull here. And now we're going to use this cargo. Unspent talent points. What's that on? Alright. It's fine. Eventually I want to take fluid form. It's technically not that big of a deal if I have that right now or not. I'm gonna just pull these mobs. I have my trinket up. And we're gonna switch trinkets. Okay. Fly up here. Then we should... yeah, we have to kill the captain. Now, what's cool about this quest... what is really particularly cool about this quest is at the very end, there's a lot of unskippable roleplay. So it takes, like, about 10 seconds for that NPC to run over there and to become available for the turn-in. So as that's happening, we're going to go up here and we're going to do this side quest up. Because this one's good anyway. This is that one that we picked up earlier from Instructor Anthiel. So we're just going to do a big pull here. God, I love Guardian Druids so fucking much. Should get spec. Do timepiece, interact. Fly over here, interact. Fly over here, interact. And fly over here, the quest immediately appears. Okay, I click. Come on. Jesus. Alright, we grab this. And we turn this in. There is one final quest where you can wait for the dog to do its roleplay. And you get a little non-combat pet dog. And if you really want the non-combat pet dog, you're welcome to sit there and wait for it. It gives full XP value, but it's just there's too much roleplay. It's not worth it for one quest. But the other three, obviously, that was pretty fast. Nice. Let's switch trinkets. Okay, we grab these quests. From here, we're basically just following the arrow, doing the Eversong campaign. There's not much else to it. That's just how it goes. Alright, we're gonna do a big pull here because we can. Okay, like Bloom Hydra was barely obscured behind the trees. I don't believe, yeah, you don't need to loot these mobs. Now, this is where it's really cool. I love this part. So we go over here. Okay, I was about to say, I don't want to pull the big guy. Thankfully, we didn't. So you need to interact with this guy. I want to be in flight form. You need to interact with that mob to get credit for the quest. And remember that runestone quest that we picked up right outside of Silvermoon? Well, that's one of the quest objectives. It's one of 3. The quest objectives for that are spread across the entire zone. They are all extremely far apart. It just so happens that all 3 of those quest objectives directly overlap with the Eversong campaign. With, like, I mean, it's like a 2-second detour, right? As far as I'm concerned, that is directly overlapping. So it's a quest that, like, if you just look at it, you're like, wow, this is terrible. I have to do 3 separate objectives at varying points across the zone. Why would I ever do this for one quest? Except, in reality, it's basically like a 5-second quest, because you take, like, 5 seconds total of detour while doing the campaign, and then it leads to 2 really efficient follow-up quests. So it ends up being pretty good, which I just think is crazy, because I have not seen anybody else talk about that quest, but the moment I saw where the objectives were, I was like, oh yeah, this is, like, perfect. Nice. Probably a good opportunity to refresh fried bonefish. You have to wait for Orwania to run over here anyway. Let's talk to Arator. Silvermoon must know. Do that. And we follow the arrow, because the arrow is all-knowing. This. Follow the arrow. I also love how my flight form is still carrying the little box. That's from the quest. I wonder if, like, you could just permanently carry a box around with you. If you just pick up that quest and never turn it in. I've never thought about it that way, but in theory, probably is how it works. Go down here. I'm probably going to adjust that quest, because, like, the more that I've done this, I've started doing the ranger first. It saves, like, about 5 seconds of time. Currently, the arrow will direct you to do the rituals straight away, and then it'll direct you to, like, speak with the ranger later on, towards the end. So I will probably slightly revise this step. Most of the campaign steps, like, the way that I've structured my add-on, it's quite nice because I don't need to do anything, like, super fancy for it. I'm just gonna, like, when I make this alt route, I will just basically copy-paste the steps, and I just need to make sure I sequence them properly so that the arrow will point from one step to the next. But the logic is all there. Like, it should be able to very easily handle it. The only reason why I didn't build it in time is because there are, like, the Voidstorm side quests. I don't have those integrated at all yet. I don't know why. I did not mean to tab target to that. Oh, well. It's fine, so we have our trinkets. There are some things like the little interactable things like this. The arrow can't really handle, like, this. Technically, I could, but there's way more interactable things than you actually need. And it's, like, there's not necessarily a best path here. You can do it in a few different orders, so. If there's... I did not mean to do that. If there are specific interactions that you have to do in order, like right now it's telling me to go to the hunter, but notice how I did the thing out of order. The moment the arrow, like, registers that you have... What is happening here? What is happening? That is not supposed to happen. They're not supposed to just start walking. Alright. But yeah, the moment, like, my add-on has registered, like, oh, hey, this quest step is completed, it can't get stuck. It auto-overrides. So there are certain add-ons that if you don't do their order in the exact way that they want you to do it, then the arrow gets stuck and you have to, like, manually skip. My arrow will give you, like, the suggested best path. But if you decide, like, hey, I want to take a little bit of a detour here, then I will check, like, oh, hey, has the quest been completed? Like, did you at least finish that objective? If so, then we go to the turn-in state, right? I'm not going to force you to, like, do this objective. Now, the sequence within the quest is, in most cases, at, like, a fixed order, right? So if you go out of order, like, the arrow isn't going to dynamically update, like, oh, this person has already done this one objective that was supposed to be done earlier. I'm going to, like, automatically switch to the next one. That would require some, like, ridiculously advanced logic that would, like, be basically unnoticeable to 99% of people. If you follow the arrow as intended, then it really, like, it just works, right? But it's also impossible to break it. Unless I coded something wrong. So there was, like, a quest around here where somebody basically said the arrow stopped working for them. I was like, huh, that shouldn't be possible. And it turns out I tied the, like, arrow completion to, the Arator dialogue choice, like the stay a while and listen, instead of the, like, actual quest objective, because I put the wrong objective index on there. And so when I test, I never actually do the stay a while and listen, so I didn't notice. Even though, like, it was technically on the wrong thing for me, if I never checked the stay a while and listen, then I never would realize that it was wrong. Because the stay a while and listen automatically gets flagged as complete when you complete the quest, and then my arrow correctly advances. So to me, it looked like, oh yeah, it's working as intended. But then for somebody who actually does read the stay a while and listen, they talk to Arator, and suddenly the arrow has disappeared. But thankfully, they let me know, and then I looked in the code, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I have put it on the wrong objective index. Oops. But then that's also like a very quick change. I literally change a 1 to a 2, and then boop, it works correctly. It's lovely. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm very happy with how this has turned out. I started developing this add-on a week before the expansion launched. Well, a week before early access launched, which is official launch. So, however much progress I've made, it has been under a month since we began. So just keep that in mind. I have been actively taking suggestions. I've already added like a shitload of quality of life features that people were requesting during early access launch. And I'm expanding it, right? Like, the reason I'm doing this right now is because, well, my guild is, well, I'm tanking for a Hall of Fame guild, and we have a lot of M0 splits to do next week. So I'm going to be quite busy next week, and also I need to make sure that my Delve video is finished, and there's going to be a lot of cool Delve-related updates to the add-on. A little sneak teaser is one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to embed an interactable Delve tier list within my add-on. So if you're like, I wonder what Delves are good today, like what are the good variants, what are the bad variants, I'm going to have it so you can open up my tier list. There'll be like a little panel, and it'll show you like the tier list, like the different active Delves. It'll say like, hey, today you are on the B variant Delves, and these are the ones that are currently active. And these are the ones that are S tier, these are the ones that are like F tier or whatever. And then if you hover over it, like one of the different Delve variant selections, it'll say, like, oh, this Delve variant is like really slow because of XYZ reason, and that's why I've put it in F tier or something like that. And you'll see like little explanations. And then there'll be like an option to basically show the entire tier list or just show the ones for my current day, right? The ones that are available to me. And ideally, that will help people both who are leveling characters, right, and are looking for, like, what are the best delves that I can do. Right now, it's technically worth doing all of the delves, but once we get a lot of XP modifiers, like Winds of Mysterious Fortune, there's probably going to be some delve variants that you just don't do. Like, if Shadow Enclave C variant is up, you're probably going to skip it. So stuff like that will help people leveling, but also if people are deciding, like, you know, which Bountiful Delves do I want to do, like, what's worth spamming early on, well, my tier list will work for endgame, too. And I'll also have, like, you know, Valera, Curio recommendations, all that fun stuff. This is another side quest chain that we do. So I've done some creative routing there. Like, in the middle of interacting with the robots, we take a detour when we're, like, at the northernmost section of this area. All right, turn this in. Do this. See here, obviously, you know, 3 mobs all grouped up. Or 3 quests all grouped up. Very efficient. That's the stuff that we'd love to see. This. Look at this mob density. Beautiful. There's a lot of different little clusters of Naga throughout the beach. So, very easy to find the stuff you need. Can't remember if I had to loot those, so I did it anyway. To do a pull here because I should be still in range of my banner from here. This just gives me a little bit of extra mob kill XP. I think I got credit for that. One thing that, come to think of it, I haven't checked is I'm not sure which of these objects is, like, the most efficient to interact with. Okay, that's awkward. Took me out of flight form. Some of them take you out, some of them don't. Thankfully, it only did that. It didn't pull the other mobs. Don't put me in combat. Nice. All I need to do is interact with the final mob. And we go back. Stunned here, not much I can do about that. I probably should have switched trinkets, but I think we're fine. I rip for this. Yeah. Do I need to loot? Can't remember. Loot either way. What will I need? What's the next trinket I'll need? Probably an AoE trinket, so I'm just gonna keep this one on. Let me go back to the campaign. No matter how you slice it, you're gonna have to take a small detour. You might be wondering, like, why didn't we do that quest line when we were there, like, by the campaign earlier? And that's just simply because the quest line requires that breadcrumb to start. So there are certain side quest chains where you need to have the associated breadcrumb to work. Okay, this is an interesting one. Okay. Oh! That is some tech that I never thought of myself, and as I was doing this on launch day, I saw somebody else doing that, the gun shoes thing, and I'm like, oh, that's actually sick as hell. I'm gonna steal that. That's my tech now. It is really cool, though. So, unfortunately, I don't know who the random boomkin was that I saw doing that on launch day, but whoever they are sick as hell, and they gave me that idea for that really cool gun shoes tech for that quest. Now, something unfortunate, I have speculated before that if you do this during the campaign, you get the really good variants, the A variant. Unfortunately, that is not the case. That used to be how things worked back in War Within, but now you only get whatever the current variant is. Now, thankfully, this one is not bad. You do need to make sure you pick Valera's supplies as part of this quest. But now, I have to just drop down and do a big pull. This one I found is really, really annoying. You basically need to kill everything. And then you need to pick up the stuff on the ground. I'm gonna pick up a Perfidious Projector. This, because this guy's a caster, right? He won't easily follow me. Now I'm gonna try to do a big pull. Currently, I need to change my tracking for the Delve sub-objectives. I have a step here that basically says, like, hey, sorry, currently Delves are not, like, supported. But remember when I said that, like, a big Delve update is coming as part of Season 1? That's one of the other things I'm going to try to do. Now, I will say, I don't necessarily think that I'm going to be able to have, like, extremely detailed objective support for every single Delve on the day Season 1 comes out. Why can I not click this? Oh my god. So, eventually, the idea would be my add-on can support sub-objectives for every single Delve, and it could basically show you, like, what is the fastest way to complete XYZ Delve. Like, that would be the dream. Is that going to happen by Season 1? Probably not, but I will... Ooh, wonder if that would have launched me into the Abyss. That would have been really unfortunate. But I want to start basically adding the code to allow for that. Okay, that is not one that I just... Over. And then if I get the foundation set up, and I get, like, a few delves loaded in there, then eventually, once I have more free time, I can do the rest. That's the important thing. This, and we need, how many? 28 out of 30. I could probably just run to the ends. Is there something I can click? That should be... Yeah, perfect. I think... The main thing is I really want to kill this guy before he enters his immune phase. I didn't save any of my really bursty things. Come on, don't enter the immune phase. I'm not getting really good luck with procs here. Okay, nice. Oh, my trinket never went off. That's... you do need to loot this guy, and... you can leave Delve. You don't need to loot the end chest. You just need to loot the boss. Who pinged me on Discord? I mean, it's bad. For leveling, go with... somebody asking me a question about the first crafts. Okay, we're gonna do this. Grab whatever, it doesn't matter. Talk to you, skip conversation. Alright. Switch trinkets. Now we're going to do Broken Sun. I think that's what it's called, Broken Sun. Face the Sun. Let's drop a banner here if I have one. A lot of mob kills. This is... I've seen some boomkins farming this place. Definitely gonna be one of those spots. Really good mob density. Is this... We already have all the kills we need. To do this. Shift, 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 shift. Should be fine. Feral Frenzy. You're already dead, bud. This. And... yeah, where this one is, it's so hard to see. This. Oh my god, I completely whiffed those two blicks. It happens. Okay, open the door. You do have to fully channel this. You can then drop down. There's some roleplay before the door actually opens. The door opens! Like, it seems like the door's open, but it's technically like an invisible barrier for like 5 seconds. So I usually find that I can get there like a second or two faster if I just do that. If you're not a druid, then, like, honestly, it might just be worth waiting, because Flame Form's instant, you know. Druid shit. Best class. Alright, that's done. Okay, we have... oh! Disaster. We have most of our Delver's Call quests done. We are missing the Zulaman ones, and I believe that's it. But that is by design. That is... it's all of our mob kill percent? I didn't even need the rare mob? Okay. Probably shouldn't have pulled that. Wow. I did not realize I'd get that much. Okay. I think I can drop combat if I just run far enough away. Yeah, we're out of combat. I also have Shadow Meld. That is a thing that I can do. It is a Night Elf racial ability that I have. Because I am, in fact, a Night Elf. I thought I killed that mob. I guess I didn't. Oops. We are going to, at this point... I think I can just... yeah, there's another branch up ahead that I remember the location of that we can break for the last survivor. Now, and this is another one of those quests, right? Where it's like, okay, why don't I point to all the survivors? Well, there are way more survivors than you could possibly need. It's also problematic because, technically speaking, the best way to get most of your Best way to get most of your survivors is to do what I just did and to do a gigantic pull, kill a bunch of mobs, and then get your survivors that way. But those survivors are actually shared credit between a bunch of people. Also, remember that runestone quest? Look at this shit. Whoop! It's right here. Right next to the turn-in. That is runestone 2 out of 3 for that quest. There's only one more left, and as you will see, it perfectly lines up. Gonna fly over yonder. It's fine. These mobs. Just nuke that guy. I don't have to worry about him. That is, let's select to that trinket. Do I have to? I don't have to loot these guys. Okay. The arrow points that way, and so we shall go. This is one of the downsides, small downsides, of being on the beta, by the way. A lot of times that mob is just dead, and you don't need to get in combat, but so be it. We are going to interact with this, and then we're just going to keep going. I'm going to kill Krevon. Alright, that guy's dead. Any second now, that guy's dead. Yep, you're dead, bud. Feral Frenzy is on him, his life is forfeit. God, that... I gotta say, Feral Frenzy is getting absolutely obliterated by Blizzard on Heroic Week. Like, I don't know. So, my guild is, like, obviously, you know, Hall of Fame. We're trying to, like, get an optimized comp and stuff like that. And, you know, we're trying to figure out what to do for tanking and whatnot. So it's been, like, a constant debate between, like, you know, me, my co-tank, and my raid leader of, like, okay, what the fuck are we gonna actually end up playing? Because, like, right now, yeah, Guardian Druid and Brewmaster are both really good. Neither of them is fucking living. I accidentally hit both of those. Oops. Neither of them is living through Heroic Week, at least in their current state. So, I don't know. I think it's... Right now, I would say, unfortunately, while I'm not the biggest fan of Midnight Brewmaster, I do think that it has a slightly better chance of surviving just because the other two monk specs are not great. So if it isn't completely killed, then the other monk specs don't seem amazing. Windwalker seems like okay damage, but like also who the fuck plays Windwalker? Definitely nobody on our team, I think. So I'm probably still going to be stuck on Brewmaster as the monk buff. You know, such is life, right? But Guardian Druid, well, obviously right now you would bring it. We have a bunch of really good Resto Druid players, so that is an option. If you need to bring a Druid buff as a Resto Druid, like, we can do that. That is a thing that is available to us. And, I mean, hey, Guardian's really fun, but, you know, like I said, yeah, there's zero chance this spec lives. It's so busted. Feral Frenzy, especially, is just absolutely obscene, this ability. Swap here. Now I get to show you the coolest part of my add-on by far. So if you're watching this and you remember seeing the troll riddle and you're like, wow, this part was really hard, well, you're in luck because my add-on fucking annihilates this puzzle. I have a numbered embedded image, and the arrow points you exactly where to go. So if you just follow the arrow, go here, 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 puzzle done. Boom. Tell me my add-on isn't the greatest thing ever made. And I'd like to see how the other fucking add-ons handle that shit. Definitely nowhere near as clean as that. A custom-made Photoshop numbered image with individual arrow steps that flow so fucking elegantly. Oh, mwah, chef's kiss. Let's head out here. Turn this in, grab whatever the fuck. We are 84. I feel like I'm making good time. This feels pretty good. I mean, really, the only question for me, like, I'm very confident in my route. The only question I have is, am I going to be slightly short experience? Because I think I have perfectly calculated this with the 25% buff. The thing is, I have, like, the eventual route that you guys will be able to use, there's, like, a bunch of backup stuff there. So that's kind of how I always build my routes, right? I'm like, oh, hey, this is the speedrun stuff that I do, but then I've included all this bonus stuff. A lot of people don't understand that when they watch my guides. Like, in my speedruns, I don't even end up doing, like, most of the zones at the end. That's only in the guides for people who don't have all of my XP modifiers, so that if they don't have that, they can still follow the route perfectly fine. And I still have really efficient zones at the end there for those people as, like, overflow. And I've already figured out, like, a bunch of really good side quest hubs. Like, in Zulaman, I think that I'm gonna basically get to the required level to do all my big turn-ins midway through the Zulaman campaign. But the northern half of the Zulaman campaign is also really good, and I will include part of that in the route, because obviously if you are, like, if you don't have all the XP modifiers, like if you don't have the 25% warband bonus, then you probably won't be at the required level by that point in time. So then I'll include a bunch of extra quests that you can then use. Okay, I think Regent's Request should be available now. Yes, it is. W. Okay. So we're going to go up here. We're going to talk to you. What now? We're going to do this. We're going to do Voidstorm. And I'm going to then head out this way. Right. This, select anything. It's the Tinker's Workbench. And we are going to, actually, oh wait. Engineering, crafting stuff. Alright, there we go. Ah, I knew I was forgetting something. I was gonna get a crafting speed file. Literally, like, okay, 5-second time loss because I forgot my crafting speed file. Oh no, the run's over. We're done. We're finished. Unsubscribe right now. Terrible speedrunner. And I'm not gonna do my crafts right now, but because you need to wait for that roleplay anyway, I'm just learning this as we wait. Now we're going to do Regent's Request. Now, the original plan was I was going to go do these side quests earlier. But, technically speaking, they end in Silvermoon, so, like, it doesn't really matter the order I do them in. This questline is actually currently supported in my Sojourner route. I have all the steps already written out. But the problem is, if I switch to it right now, I would have to, like, find the correct selection. Obviously, once this is eventually, you know, added to the guide, it will automatically be sorted for you. This is a really good banner spot. What is this world quest? These worms are not parts of quest line, so I'm guessing the world quest is to just kill a bunch of mana worms. Like, yeah, I could do that. Arcane worms, then we do this. These are Lynx pelts. Okay, so I just need to kill a bunch of arcane worms and I get some, like, bonus experience. I guess... is it just kill arcane worms? Yeah, okay. Just slay X amounts of arcane worms. Now, normally this is not up, right? It's a world quest, so you can't, you know, nothing's guaranteed. The wormlings count, though. Okay. It said only arcane worms, so I didn't think so, but... Alright, yeah. Free XP is free XP. I won't say no to it. That's the thing about world quests, I should note. Like, this has kind of been the thing for a while, but you never really know which ones you're going to get on any given day. So I never include them into my guides. And they're also, like, as a standalone thing, they're not great. They're not worth doing. World quests are only worth it if they directly overlap another quest that you're already doing. And then it's like, yeah, if there's, like, one other objective to do, like, a tiny thing like that, like, okay, kill a few worms. Yeah, sure, I could do that. That's mob kill XP, and I get something bonus out of it, like, may as well. One of the nicest things about this hammer is that I just don't need to find the mob's body on the ground to loot it. It's just like, hey, I need to loot something, press one button. As long as I'm in the general proximity. My god, too far away, shit. You. I believe it's 6 mages. Yeah, 6 mages. That's 4, 5, 6. Combat, platform. Go. Nice. Okay. That could have been a bit spooky. Thankfully, I should have at least shifted into cat form. Whatever. We're chill. Fight. We're gonna use our trinket on you. Oops. Not mean to do that. Okay, I did get Moonfire proc. It wasn't displayed on buffs there. Go in here, turn this in. Here, turn this in. Addon. Here. Anything, and then... Yeah, okay. I couldn't remember if you have to turn it in and then pick the quest up, but my gut was telling me that you just pick the option and then start flying. So that's what I did, and my gut was correct. Here. Train your protege. Going to do Zul'Aman. Let me show that again, because I don't think the angle was quite good. So when you finish one of the zones in my add-on, so here, Eversong Woods, I have these, like, cute little buttons that you can press, so I can press Zul'Aman, and boom, we've loaded the Zul'Aman guide. You can manually select them with the drop-down like that, but I really wanted to make, like, a user-friendly way to switch guides without having to navigate the drop-down menu, and I wanted it to be, like, logical, right? So it always tells you what the recommended next zone is, and I think I achieved that. Okay, we're gonna drop a banner. This quest up is, like, really nuts, by the way. This one, I have seen a few guides recommend this. It's not that common, I think, because it is a little bit out of the way, but I have seen at least one other video saying, hey, do this quest, it's pretty good. So it's not completely obscure knowledge, but this one is very strong. There's 3 quests. Fucking up. 3 quests in a tiny area, like, obviously just pretty good. Very easy to complete. But then, what's so crazy about this is you go back here and watch this. Watch how this goes. 1, 2, 3. There's, or 4, I mean. There's a 4th quest follow-up that just insta-completes. Full 17,000 XP value. Why? I don't know. Not gonna question it. Blizzard just decided that insta-complete quest deserved to have a full 17k attached to it. And now here's the crazy thing, right? We're heading down to Zul'Aman. Guess where the last runestone is for that quest from before? This is the last runestone. So we just land here, on the way to Zul'Aman, turn in this quest. 8,000. And we do this. And this is... stone. And then this guy, technically speaking, I could use my Heart of the Wild on him, but... And then this gives above average XP. Look, that's 25k. So the first 2 quests give slightly below average, but that one gives like a big chunk of XP. So is that worth? I don't know for sure. I'm going to be honest. But it's really cool. So at a certain point, when designing a route, I have to be like, all right, look, I don't necessarily know whether like X quest or Y quest is more efficient. At a certain point, it's really hard to say. You know, a lot of times there's a lot of good options, and it's kind of hard to say which one necessarily is the best. And when that happens, when I can't really decide, I'm just like, all right, you know, which one is cooler, right? Which of these quests, if we include it in the route, will people look at and be like, oh, that's sick? And I think the Runestone one is just really sick, because it seems like, on the surface, such an inefficient quest, but it just lines up so well. It's the type of quest where you would never expect it to be good at all, and it just works. It just is. It's like, you know, is it the greatest quest ever? No. But it's like, just directly along the campaign and has 2 pretty good follow-ups. I mean, hey, I'll take that. If I fuck this up, then I am the worst ever. Thankfully, I did not. Right, and then you get a follow-up to return to Lorthamar and Silvermoon. So we'll do that soon. Fluid form. Good opportunity to refresh buffs. Come on, don't... I might be like... Come on. Yes! Oh, barely got it! Let's go! Hell yeah. Alright. Now we do a Talaman. So, a lot of people are, like, hyper-fixated on this idea. We're gonna do this on Tier 1, though. So many people are hyper-fixated on the idea of, like, you have to do your delves at level 81 or the scaling is gonna kick your ass. Ah! It's like, no, it's really not that big of a deal, right? Like, obviously, you want to do as many delves as you realistically can at level 81. That's why I tried to do that. And you saw I immediately, upon starting the route, I did, like, a bunch of delves. But the Zul'Aman delves and, like, Shadow Enclave, it's not worth going all the way out there and doing it super duper early just because, like, oh no, it's going to be slightly harder in terms of scaling if we wait to do it later. Like, yeah, everything is going to be slightly harder in terms of scaling. And yes, it's technically not wrong to say that delves will feel a lot worse with bad scaling, but they are not so substantially worse that it is worth wasting minutes of travel time just making a point to go and do all of the Zul'Aman ones, like, ahead of time. Now, if you're not planning on doing Zul'Aman, like, at all, right? So if your goal is to, I don't know, do, Calamitous spam or something like that, then yeah, I guess, okay, go and do them early on. You know, you're not actually planning on doing them when you go to the Zul'Aman campaign, because you're not doing the Zul'Aman campaign. That's, like, a slightly different story, but I've seen some people think that they absolutely need to do all of the delves immediately, and it's just not true. Now, there's a reason why, at the very start, I do the delves on tier 2, because if everything's insta-dying, then it doesn't matter, but now, later on, when I'm level 85, even with my OP gear, yeah, I put the delve on tier 1. It's just simpler that way. Do a big pull here. Let's do this. Oh, that was clean. Can I use gun shoes in here? I can. Oh. I guess it doesn't really matter because, you know, insta-cancels, but hey, it's better than nothing. We need to do one more cub. I do this without being interrupted? No. Worth a shot. So this guy, that guy has true sight. Okay. It's fine. I want to save my Heart of the Wild for the final boss. Will be in a little bit. Yeah, I really wanted to get a Ravage proc here, so I can double Ravage. Nice, we can send a double Ravage into the boss, like so. Get a Thrash going, and this. Well, I have Fluid Form now, so I can enter with a Rake. Okay, Valir killed that guy over there. That's good. Not, whoa, insanely well-timed Ravage proc. As I'm pressing raise, boom, Ravage is just like, let me take care of that boss for you. I got you, buddy. Thank you, Ravage. You are my favorite ability ever created in World of Warcraft. Now, so if I'm not a druid, I should note I like to do a big pull there. Because a lot of times you get stuck in combat, and you need to get your 10 invading shadows somehow. So if you get stuck in combat, then yeah, just go and, you know, do a big pull there, whatever. No, it's not that big of a deal. But because I'm a druid, it is technically more efficient to just do a gigantic invading shadows pull here. Because, like, I mean, do you see this mob density? Holy... all of them. Ooh, that was clean. Air from the sky. this is my favorite time to be a Guardian Druid. There's a bunch of spread out mobs. I'm going to tag all of them with Moonfire and then converge in the center. And if something leashes, it leashes. So be it. Just leash. Now, you can kill mobs or interact with objects to get credit here, but I'll let you in on a little secret of World of Warcraft. Interacting with objects, by and large, does not give mob kill XP, and killing things does. So generally speaking, this is not a universal rule, but if both things give the same percentage credit, and you could choose to kill something, or click on it. Okay, I'm not gonna... Yeah, we're gonna click on that there. Okay, cool. But usually, killing enemies, thumbs up. Alright, we're going to... This... This... Perfect. Okay, do I have a banner here? Also, like, I don't need all these mobs for, the quest, but if I'm already doing, like, a 5-mob pull, then why pull 5 when you can pull 10, right? They're all gonna die to raise anyways. Fly over here. Actually, yeah, so sometimes if you are lightning fast and you fly away, the way that I'm forced to track objectives like this, because the game's quest log doesn't give me enough information, is I have to do, like, a proximity check of, like, you are within however many yards, right? So the arrow will sometimes basically be like, wait a second, you got credit, but you're out of the proximity range, because if you're just lightning fast with, you know, flying away, it can get confused. Doesn't happen often, but that's one of those instances where that can happen. And as you can see, though, like, the arrow doesn't get stuck. It's just like, oh, hey, you got all the lightwood piles. I guess I'll go to the completion step. W arrow. We love the arrow. You. Let's grab you. Hit him with the axe. That's one nice thing. You technically don't need to grab that bonus axe, but it does really good damage, so it's like, yeah, why not? 30-second cooldown, but you can just, like, do a big pull, so yeah, it's not to love. We've got in all of our armed defenders. If there's a lot of other people here and this area is congested, this terrace up here, I find, often has a lot of mobs that people ignore, because people tend to just go out in the open areas. So, I've done this, I mean, I've done the Zulaman campaign and Eversong campaign, obviously, like, a shitload of times, because they're very efficient for leveling. And every time I'm here, there's usually a bunch of other people, and that tends to be where I get most of my Ritualist kills. Also, the staircase out front is pretty good, too. Yeah. To shoot. Mashing 3. Let me just sit here and wait for the roleplay. You cannot exit this one early, unfortunately. There are some vehicle quests where, you know, it's fine. You leave early, you're good to go. Alright. And now prepare to witness my magnum opus. I'm going to try my best to very cleanly integrate this into the add-on, but you'll see the routing here is... Ooh, it's very intricate. So I'm going to try but there are absolutely zero guarantees. Alright, we're gonna pick up this, disable Leatrix Plus, talk to you, bind my Hearthstone here. We're gonna jump out of this window. I'm gonna fly up here. Gonna grab this quest here. I need to re-enable Leatrix Plus now. I just wanted to make sure I didn't turn in that thing at the Innkeeper. Now we're gonna do this. So we're doing the campaign quest. Right, fly over here. Talk to you. We're gonna drop down here, pick up this breadcrumb. Now I'm gonna fly up here. Fly over here. Pick up this quest. This quest is very simple. You fly over here, you talk to this person, you do this challenge, and you kick this guy's ass. That's it. That's the quest. It's the entire quest. I should have switched to my Perfidious Projector, but I forgot. It gives above average XP, too, for something that simple, right? Crazy. Okay, we talk to this guy, we request Shamans. Then we go out here, we pick up these two quests. Grab this, we swap to Perfidious Projector. Fly over here. Talk to this guy, I will help Zuljara. Talk to you. Grab the follow-up quest. Now we're going to fly over here. We're going to grab the Loa Altar. Head over here, click on this. We're going to pick Halazi, we're going to pick Matamra. This is a very powerful proc damage effect. It's going to do crap loads of damage. It is by far the strongest Loa power-up. Okay, we're going to talk to you. Talk to you. Talk to you. Fly over here. We're going to turn in this quest, and then we're going to do the first objective. So we need to wait. So I'm going to just buff up real quick while I wait for this to finish. Any second now, we're going to be able to do this. Now there's a 15-second cooldown before we can do the next objective. So while we wait on that 15-second cooldown, we head over here, we pick this up. This quest wants us to go out here and slash dance. So I have my macro, slash dance, talk to you, run inside, slash dance, talk to you, 8k XP. Run outside the hut, 15 seconds have passed. We can go back here. The quest objective will be available. We walk up to you, we cheer for you. You jump off the waterfall, but we don't care. We're going to fly over here, and we're going to do this next side quest hub, because I'm going to get credit for watching them jump off the waterfall later on. Okay. So I picked up... Oh, fuck. That wasn't part of the plan. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, no. I cleaned out my quest log before I started the run, but that was on the other druid before Quick Quest sent me into fucking Sunwell intro. I did all the Alterac Valley prequests. I should note, by the way, I have all these prequests. I could turn them in. I'm not doing that. So, we are keeping this accurate. I think that should be enough room in my quest log, I hope. Worst case, we clear out more space. Alright. Back to regularly scheduled programming. Alright, pick these 3 quests up. Okay, I'm gonna do a pull here. Nothing crazy, but... because I'm not gonna be pulling a bunch of mobs here, I'm not gonna drop a banner, right? We don't need to loot anything from their bodies. Okay, so we're gonna do this. We grab this, and we fly down south. I have, like, all of this memorized, by the way. I'm not just, like, saying shit. I practiced this exact order before starting this run, and this exact order will be integrated into the add-on. I'm doing it exactly this way, because it is the most optimized traveling salesman way to do all of these side quests. I fucking hate that fear. I'm gonna tactical nuke that stupid Murloc. Eat Perfidious Projector, bitch. Oh my god, that Murloc has so much health. He's a beefy boy. I got that. Oh, yeah, okay, I got that thing. Cool. Switch trinkets. This one gets a Heart of the Wilds. So we do Rake, you, there, you. Now, you might be wondering, Harldan, why do you suck so much at Druid? Why are you Ripweaving? I thought Ripweaving is no longer good damage on Druid. Well, you see, there is a War Mode talent that makes Rip do 50% more damage. So, is Ripweaving still worth it? Probably not. But it makes me feel good to feel like I'm using my war mode talent effectively. So that is why I'm rip weaving, even though it is no longer actually a damage increase on bear. Shit. Come on. Credit. Notice how we randomly got credit for Ani's jump observed. You don't actually need to watch Ani jump off the waterfall. As long as you are at some point passing through this area, which is where Ani lands after jumping off the waterfall, you get credit. And the reason we did that is because the turn-in point for Ani jumping off the waterfall is right there. And now... we're going to do a big pull over here. Murlocs. Do, yeah, this. Now, there's a bunch of quests in this general area. As for the exact most efficient order, I'll be honest, it's hard to say for this particular quest. I've thought of a few different, like, traveling salesman alternatives, and I'm doing the one that will likely end up being baked into the run eventually. Yeah, you don't need to loot any of those. You do need to interact with that object, though, and I flew away from it, so... let's go back and do that. Collect the papers. Now, I'm going to do a big pull here. The main limiting factor on this particular set of quests is these, like, little skewer things. You have to get a lot of them. By the time that you've killed 15 Murlocs, you'll still need a bunch of these skewers. We have... yeah, okay, we're on the Priestess step. You want to do this stuff up until when it says Priestess Found. And then I do this. Then I fly out here. I can ignore this because Druid Privilege. Normally you just fight them, it's like whatever. Those Murlocs are also the same ones that are part of the other quest chains, so in one of my tests, I had exactly 10 out of 12 Murlocs remaining, and then I just killed those two, and I got credit. So it worked out perfectly. Alright, we're going to turn this in. See, it gives above average experience, right? And then we're going to eventually go back and get one final quest turn in at the village. And it works out well because we have to go all the way out here anyway for this other section of the quest chain. So it's not like any time loss at all, regardless. This. And remember when I said you'll kill 15 Murlocs, you'll still need the skewers. That, I think, is guarded by a Murloc, but because we're Druid... you just need an undefended skewer. Any undefended skewer, or I could just kill it. That's an option, too. We just see a skewer and we just say, alright, Murloc, your time has come. Alright, now we get to see some really sick speedrun tech. You guys are not ready for this. It's going to be super cool. We're going to grab this. We're going to fly out here. Drop into the water. Fell slate anchor. God damn it. I've never seen that. Man, I was so excited to use that item, and then when I actually use it in the speedrun, for whatever reason, it fizzles, and I think because I collided, like, too quickly, and I was, like... I dove in flight form, I think I used it before I had fully shifted out of flight form or something, and the game just said, no, fizzle. The way that's supposed to work, and I've tested, it does work. The buoy works, right? Man. That was so cool. I was so happy. I was so excited to show that. It's whatever. It's like a 2-second time loss. It's just so cool. You get to, like, anchor yourself down to the bottom, put on the suit, swim, interact with the objective, and then you kill the mob, use the buoy to rocket back to the surface. At least the buoy worked. I got to show part of the trick. I was so excited for that, man. I came up with that, like, last second. I was like, oh, I could use a Laystone anchor here. And, yeah. Whatever. Whatever, game. Alright, now we do the rest of the campaign up here. Now, the nice thing is there are a few side quests that, like, directly overlap with this. So we're going to do that. Harldan Club Fists, you. I want to make sure I don't leash these guys, but I think... Now, there was one test where I did where one of these quest objectives just never dropped. It's very random. So the mobs that you have to kill as part of the campaign, they can drop a Threshodon necklace, but it's like classic levels of drop rate. Of like, oh, sometimes we're just not going to drop it, and you're going to have to kill like 30 mobs to get it. And then sometimes it drops in the first 5 kills, and... yeah. So here I'm definitely going to pull way more than I need. And come on, necklace. Okay, we got it. Gonna grab eagle feathers here. Pull these 2 mobs together, because this one I think shifts me out of play form. I'm not sure, but either way. I have unspent talent points, so I'll have to think of some... I could do that while flying. Is that... I'm not in combat with that. Okay, I don't need to worry about it then. 3 more eagle feathers. Oh, it's set on damage done overall. Let's swap to Perfidious Projector. I can probably use it for the final mob. Grab this. Grab this, because my Perfidious Projector is about to come up. Now we do this. This trinket. This Amani headdress, gotta do that at some point. May as well do it now. Fly over here, final shrine. We turn this stuff in. We have to wait like a second or two. I'm just going to rebuff while I wait. Bag of Heads drops down. Okay. Like, so this is an interesting example for a world quest where, like, technically speaking, this world quest overlaps the campaign, but, like, it doesn't directly overlap the objectives. It's, like, in the same area, but it takes too long, in my opinion, for what does this give? Yeah, 12k XP. That's not even a full quest's worth of XP. So, it's just generally not worth it. Jump. Alright. So basically, this is the point in the... what's it called? This is the point in the Zul'Aman campaign when I think if you have, like, enough XP modifiers, like I do, you know, the 25% warband bonus, this is all you do as part of the campaign. There's still more side quests around here that I need to do, but that being said, I'm level 86, so I'll have to see where I'm at after Twilight Crypts, and if I'm still in like the low 87 range, or God forbid if I'm not 87, then I think it probably would still be worth it for me to continue. We'll have to play it by ear. Just nuke the spore. We have enough boar carcasses. That one will turn in later. I'm in combat with something. I don't know what. All right, there we go. Let's go. I believe this should be... It's a 3 or 4. Okay, so we got lucky. We turn this in, then we keep going. Down here. Do a big pull. Drop a battle standard, why not? Oh, shit. Nice. AoE loot. Turn in the quest. Going. I believe that there's enough branches that are not surrounded by mammoths that I can grab. Worst case scenario, I just dive in, grab the branch, and then take off. Okay, yeah, you can do this without pulling. I'm gonna, just before I dismount, head over here. Wait for the NPC to catch up. This. Credit. The next quest is down here, so I'm just gonna fly, get out of combat, and then the NPC will catch up. Alright, perfect. This. Is this the... like one more? Oh shit, I clicked it too fast. That last quest is maybe not like the fastest thing ever, but it's pretty good, right? You definitely want to stick around for it. Right, and now we head to Twilight Crypts. I think, yeah, I'm heading in the right direction. Okay. I don't have the arrow to guide me, so I just have to go based on my, like, you know, built-in mental arrow. Unfortunately, my built-in mental arrow is very fucked up sometimes. It's just built-in everything, very fucked up sometimes. That's life. Talk to you. Grab the keys in the wall, and then we get transported. Can I click this buff off? I never realized, but it's technically... Okay, that's not a cancelable buff. There's a really funny side quest in Harldan. It's absolutely terrible, not worth doing. But what I realized is that it tries to stun you. It's like whenever you interact with this one object, you get stunned for 5 seconds. Crazy quest objective. But they labeled the stun as a buff. So you can just click off the stun. And then you don't need to worry about it. Kind of a bit of an oversight there on Blizzard's part. But that time they remembered. Okay. So we have to go here. This is such a weird delve. One thing about this particular delve is, I believe, like, certain specs that have, like, basically demon hunters can kind of cheese this, and they can jump over the, like, the barrier separating the other part of the delve. And if they do that, then they can basically do this particular section in reverse order, which is a lot faster. The way that the, like, the gating is structured, it's really slow if you have to do it the intended way, which, I mean, we have to do it the intended way. Like, I could do it with Stagform Wild Charge, but I can't Stagform in here, so... Maybe with, like, a Gust of Wind potion, the one that, like, people used for Mythic Gallywix, I don't know. I'm about to try that. So that's the fear. Do this. Of course, that guy has fucking True Sight. Why wouldn't he have True Sight? The nice thing about this last section, though, is... Like, this is why this delve's actually not terrible if you can do it in reverse order. Because if you can do it in reverse order, then you can basically just hold W. But if you can't, then you basically have to stop and kill all those mobs. There's no real way around that. It's probably worth. I just realized I don't have my Ripweave talents in delves, so that actually is inefficient, but we're just not gonna think about that. This is just damage. Let's see if I care. Okay, that fear is only within range. I kill this guy, and then we're gonna Hearthstone, because we set this to Amonizar Village earlier. I never picked up the Delver's Call quest. Okay. Yeah, well. Yeah, you win some, you lose some, huh? We get to run this delve a second time! Yeah, okay, that's the first real mistake of the run. I was bound to make one. It's not like the greatest mistake to make, but it's also not the absolute worst. It's one of those where, technically speaking, right, I lose like a minute or two. Well, not I wouldn't say a minute or two. I lose like 30 seconds probably. It's like, yes, I have to run it again, but also it is like the mobs are not the worst ever for mob kill XP, so you know, it's fine. I'm not happy about it, but it is acceptable. I need to get more XP anywhere. Like I said, I believe I'm a little bit short on XP. But actually, after doing this, I might have enough to do my big turn-in. Let's see. This time, I am going to try just holding W. I mean, as a Guardian Druid, I could probably get away with it. The only issue is the fears. Which... do about that. But also, I could Shadow Melt? Question mark? Valera might just, like, die. If Valera dies, I can Shadow Meld, well, on cue. Okay, fuck yeah, let's go. Not that bad. Alright, well, so, if you have Shadow Meld, not that bad. Turns out. Yeah, actually, in the end, I mean, yeah, it's probably like a 30-second time loss, I guess, but that could have been a lot worse. I think that's fine. And, like, again, the delve does still give completion credit. Like, that, it's not an insignificant amount. Like, that's, you know, it is something. Now we Hearthstone. It would have been a lot worse if I had finished my Hearthstone cast and then realized I forgot to pick up the Delver's Call quest. That would have been bad. Thankfully, that did not happen. My gut tells me that I'm short a little bit of experience. So I'm going to do some... But I don't think I'm short that much XP. And by short experience, you might be like, well, like, how are you short XP? Didn't you design the thing? It's like, yeah, I have to, like, theory craft this route and be like, napkin math tells me this is probably enough, but until you actually sit down and do a full run, it's so hard to say. If I had Dark and Fair buff, this would have been enough. But I don't. By choice. So. But this stuff is good. So now we just do a big... little bunch of mobs hub. You have to loot these mobs. Now we just need to find Hunter's Tablets. Now, I wasn't expecting to do this, so I don't have the Hunter's Tablets locations memorized. But they shouldn't be too hard to find. Does Shade Basin watch? XP does this give? Okay, no, that's only a breadcrumb. It's not worth it. There is a Hunter's Tablet in here. Stolen Game Meat, this is a world quest. Oh, shit, so there's a world quest overlapping this particular, side quest chain. Alright, that works out well. Do... banner here. And I should note, by the way, if you were, like, really short XP, like, if you didn't have the full bonus, you wouldn't just go here and do this. At that point, I think it would just be better to go and do the entire latter half of the Zul'Aman campaign. It's just, I know for a fact that, like, hey, I'm only a little bit short, right? I'm not short, like, a full level. It might even... There's, like, a Voidstorm side quest hub that might be worth including if this isn't enough. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll put, like, multiple different options in the guide when it's done so that people have different choices of, like, exactly what they want to do. Alright, is that Hunter's Tablet? I need one more. That's the world quest. There's probably one Hunter's Tablet up here that I missed. Can I get this? Let's go! Druid OP! This is... yeah, that's a above average quest. I want to try to bank this double Ravage proc. Okay, I have 4 seconds left. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on! Oh. Okay, we instantly got a new Ravage proc. Saved. And Feral Frenzy says goodbye to you. Is this turned in here, or do I turn it in out there? I'm gonna guess I turn it in there, because that's where the one says. Like I said, this one I've done once for Sojourner, but I did not plan on using this on my route, so this is, like, on the fly backup. Mani Honor. I forgot about this one. It's also an above... yeah, right. I forgot the XP values, but there's a reason why I'm like, yeah, I remember that one being, like, pretty good. It's just there's too much travel time, and there is, like, a bit of roleplay, so... I didn't get a Moonfire proc. Alright, that's turned into Monizar Village. I'm gonna be honest, we're gonna let it rip here. We're gonna send it. We've hit 2 hours. This is good. I think this is enough. Yeah, this should be enough. Honestly, there's a small chance that I would have been fine regardless. But. We do the turn in now. Alright, first thing I turn in is you. I have to go over here because there's some roleplay. Can't immediately turn that in, so we're going to go over here. We're going to do this. This is a Mani Honor. Alright. Turn this in. Shit. Turn this in. Particularly matters. Okay. You know what? That gave a lot less XP than I thought it would. Just gonna continue the campaign. Little bit of a time loss here, but here's the thing. This is my first, like, full run-through of the route. So this is what you got to do, right? Like I said, as long as it's under 3 hours, which at this point it's guaranteed to be, so like I'm happy. As long as it's under 3 hours, I don't care. That's all that's important. Because you're never going to get the literal perfect run on your first try. It's just not going to happen. So the fact that my route in general works out, now I thought, like I said, I was planning on, if needed, like, you can include the latter half of the Zul'Aman campaign. I just thought that I wouldn't necessarily need this with my current XP. So now what this is telling me is, okay, actually, you're probably going to need this. Which means that anybody who doesn't have the full 10%, I'll need to add a little bit extra. So there's, like, a really good side quest chain in... I wouldn't say really good, but it's pretty good. In Voidstorm, actually, that I'm probably going to include in the route. And... yeah, I think you do that, definitely. And I think... honestly, though, Eversong... I'm trying to think if there's, like, any other Eversong side quests that I recommend doing. There are some that I've seen other people recommend. But honestly, I don't think they're worth it. I think that they're slower than other options. I think people just haven't realized how good some of the other options in, like, Voidstorm and stuff are. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll add these side quest hubs in later Zul'Aman as, like, an official recommendation in the final version. And then I will add the Voidstorm, the bonus Voidstorm questline. And what else? The thing is, eventually, I should note, long-term, we're gonna have Darkway. So, that'll be pretty good, too. Yeah. Right now, I'm just kind of thinking, like, where's the jumping off point here? When do I say, like, this is enough, and I go and do the turn-in? And I'm not sure. Not sure, because it kind of depends, right? Okay, why is my Moonfire just, like, refusing to work? Come on. That bonus objective is really good XP. Oh, I forgot to click on this. Shit. Play movie. Is this, yeah, that's a breadcrumb. Oh, do I want to risk it? Do I want to risk it for the biscuit? You know what I'm gonna do? I think that because of the extra quests that I have planned, I think this might genuinely be enough at this point. But this quest chain's also pretty good. And this is 100% guaranteed we have enough to do the big tournament. You don't need to loot them, right? No, you don't. I do need to grab these. Can they... They can't drop the... Yeah, okay. Good. I should... Be lovely if I could get one Ravage proc right now. It's whatever. One more stolen equipment. And... this... I gotta this up first. This up, and then you go kill the mob. Alright, yeah, should definitely be enough. Okay, I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but I think this was a pretty good run. All things considered, this went pretty well. Whatever. And where do you turn this in? Oh, it's just up there, okay. Alright, and honestly, the fact that this stuff was required to basically hit the threshold that I need to make all of this stuff line up correctly, it just kind of reinforces to me that even things like the runestone quests that I do that may not seem like super efficient is actually pretty good. There's a bunch of side quest chains that we didn't do in Southern Zuluman that I don't really think are worthwhile. They're like okay, but I think those ones up north are significantly better. But that's where it's kind of tricky. It's like, do you go up north and eat the travel time loss? It's tough. Obviously, if you still need more experience after this, it would be worth it, because then, or it would, just to be clear, it would be worth it, because then you'd have to go and do all that stuff anyway, so you just continue along the campaign. Alright, perfect. Then we are going to our Cantina key here. Long loading screen. Back out. And these loading screens are a killer. We don't want to turn that in right this second. We first want to go over here. Want to pick up Arator's Journey, do this, talk to Lorthamar. Fuck that up. Now that we've reached 88, we get the full value. Because imagine this, right? The quest gives, like, significantly more experience every level you jump up with. So if we turn in one of these Delver's Call quests at like 87 and 99%, then we're getting the full value of level 87. If we do something else, then we're getting the full value of level 88. So that is better. Alright, so now we're going to go over here, and we're going to do our crafting. What's this? Engineering orders fulfilled. Alright, we want to do... engineering, check, crafting orders, patron orders. There's usually something that we can do here. Gotta get that first craft anyway. And there's actually 2 perfected cogwheels. I've not learned this recipe. Requires 45. Alright, that's strange. I believe that was changed. Oh no, it requires 35. I haven't done my other crafts yet. Okay, we're fine. I'm wasting time here because I got confused. Okay, recipes. Sort by first craft bonus. On. Talk to you. Engineering, crafting orders, patron orders, hobbyist rod. The order. Okay, we have to turn in that quest over there. Alright, sure. Now we go back to first craft bonus. We just go down the line here. Right. Leatherworking. This. This, talk to you. Do Skinner's cap. It's all 30. You turn this in. 16k, that's a full quest worth of XP. Alright, we fly over here. Void Storm. This. Turn in our Decimus quest over here. We don't do the follow-up, we just get that one. Over here to Harrandar, turn this, or take this portal. And we're probably gonna get another fucking 1 minute long loading screen, but I don't even care at this point. I've already won. Take a nice, long, victorious sip of water. Holy shit, what is wrong with Harrandar today? I'm glad every loading screen wasn't like this, but it is crazy that Harrandar 2 times in a row is like the world's longest loading screen on the beta. I've been pinged on Discord. Something about alchemy. Alright, turn this in. Alright. I have... Let's see. There is a singular side quest chain in the entirety of this zone that is worthwhile. There's only one. Is this enough? It's not. Alright, perfect. So this is the only side quest chain in the entire zone that's worth doing. So you might be like, oh my god, Harldan, you're such a fool. You miscalculated. But I deliberately meant to do, what's it called? Grudge Pit last, because I knew that if I was ever so slightly short, well, it just so happens that the only efficient side quest hub in the entirety of Miranda is here. And instead of doing this when I went to Grudge Pit earlier, I left it as an emergency backup. So if my numbers were ever so slightly off, we can just do this. Now, the mob kill XP here, unfortunately, is really bad, but... Now, this particular situation ended up being not ideal, because I'm going to basically only do this quest, and this initial quest is not that good, actually. But after you do this, there's like a bunch of follow-up quests that are really worthwhile. So, I figured, hey, if I'm off by, like, a decent amount, then I have basically a 10-quest chain that I can rely on. Or we just do this. And it's that fucking easy! Woo! 2 hours and 17 minutes without Darkmoon Fair. No Darkmoon Fair required. By the way, so you may remember earlier in the video, I said you should go into your follow the arrow settings and you should enable Voldemort mode. And now, if you want to know what Voldemort mode does, I'm gonna move my timer over here, and I want you to look at the chat box here. Elf2 has reached level 90 without needing to use a paid add-on. That happens every time you level up. But let's be clear, it is opt-in. This is disabled by default. I'm not a scumbag, unlike other people. And if you do this, note how this is not self-promotion. I am not telling you, hey, so-and-so reached level 90 using Follow the Arrow. I'm just saying, hey, I did this without having to use one of your other shitty paid add-ons, right? You know, like, we're evening the scales, right? If people want to opt in to fight fire with fire, I am giving them that opportunity. So you should definitely enable Voldemort mode whenever you use Follow the Arrow. And, I mean, if you haven't been convinced that my routes are just fucking better than everybody else's, I don't know what to tell you. Like, find me another person who did a questing route this fast. You can't, because nobody is this good at making fucking questing routes. I feel like I get to be a little bit arrogant here. I'm pretty fucking happy with doing this. Every single person has been telling me, oh, I'm leveling in 3 to 4 hours with fucking Calamitous spam. Yeah, well, bitch, I just leveled in 2 hours with fucking quests, right? Get better at routing. Anyways, yeah, so that was a pretty cool run. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. And now that we are done here, I want to remind people that if you are watching this right now, the route has not been integrated into Follow the Arrow. But within a few days after this is posting, I will do everything I can to basically get like the exact route that I did here fully integrated into Follow the Arrow, and I'm going to have bonus stuff like extra quest lines and stuff that you can do. Another thing I'm going to try to do, I no guarantees on whether I can get this immediately, but I'm going to try to have like dynamic XP tracking for like once you hit level 88. I'm probably not going to do like exact XP values, but I think levels are very easy. I can like ask the game what level is the player, right? That's pretty easy. So if you reach level 88, I will probably tell you, all right, pretty much no matter what, you're probably going to have enough experience to reach max level with all your Delver's Call quests. So now you should do your turn in, and then wherever you are in the chain, I will try to find a way to like snap you to the end and have the final sequence. Or maybe I'll do a pop-up of like, hey, you've reached level 88. This is like enough time to do your Delver's Call quest. Would you like to go to the turn-in section? So like it's not jarring. I'll try to make it more like user-friendly. But I'll definitely find a way to make that clean. And I'm going to do my best to get that route to you as soon as possible. And yeah, we are going to we're gonna make this add-on the best fucking leveling add-on ever made, and also the best free leveling add-on ever made. And on that note, in order to do that, I do kind of need your support. So I have some awesome people. I've made a Patreon, finally, because even though this add-on is free, obviously, like, I still have to spend a lot of time working on it. There is absolutely nothing exclusive locked behind the Patreon in terms of, like, information or whatever. I'm putting, like, behind-the-scenes footage. Like, basically, an hour before I recorded this run, I uploaded footage of, like, my strategy for this, of, like, some of my test runs planning out this run. But then, of course, like, the Patreons will get to see that it's just like behind the scenes, like what is my thought process going into this? And then of course I do the actual run, and you guys get to see that like 12 hours later, the real thing. And there's like polls for upcoming features. So like right now on my Patreon for the $1 tier, I should note, is you get to vote on feature polls. So the current poll is which 1 to 80 route do you want to be added first, Alliance or Horde? I will add both of them eventually. The add-on will eventually support all forms of leveling, and I will definitely do both Alliance and Horde at some point, but I have to choose one to do first. So that poll will decide which one I do once all of the 80 to 90 stuff is complete and fully integrated. And then finally, big thank you to all of my $10 Patreons. Their names are on screen now. Fancy future editor Harldan will do this in post, because I have to fix the intro because I accidentally got shipped over to Sunwell intro regardless, so I can just say this now, and then like with the magic of video editing, the names will appear on screen at the end. Isn't that cool? And all those awesome people are $10 patrons, and they will also get the ability to test like work in progress future versions of the add-on. No exclusive versions, mind you. I want to be very clear on that. There is no premium, whatever the fuck versions. These are like buggy, unfinished, like first draft. If you want to, I will give you the ability to test that on like the PTR or something, so that you can help refine the bugs, so that by the time it's ready for launch, then everybody will have a more clean, perfected version of that. Also totally optional, but it's just like some people have expressed like, hey, I want to be a beta tester. Well, okay, Patreon tier, right? I think that's a fair way to do it. I don't think I will need that many beta testers, but I want to at least give an option because a few people expressed that they'd be interested in that. But either way, that's it. I'm pretty happy with the speedrun. I hope that you enjoy this route that I have put together. I think it is pretty fucking clean, and I hope that you will enjoy it even more once it has been fully integrated into Follow the Arrow. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and good luck with your leveling. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.